Hello guys, welcome to a new video. In this one we're going to talk about the units of discourse analysis. This surely um, will be approached in a deeper way in an exclusive subject that you have for this, that is social linguistics and discourse analysis. Nevertheless, there is at least an amount of approach that we have to do in this particular subject in order to advance. Now, normally, um, students sometimes have trouble understanding this, especially the first part. But do not worry, we're going to try to do as many exercises as possible, and you can ask me whenever you want using your WhatsApp or using the chat or the inbox in the Edmodo app, or by any other means if you believe that is not so clear. Okay. Also, the idea is that there is going to be a couple of assignments derivative from this, and the idea is that I am going to revise them, send, of course, individual comments, but also I am planning to create another video in which I can comment the answers and verify if everything was fine, or if there are some common mistakes we can clarify that, and well, everything else. So hopefully that will be clear enough. Now, with that in mind, so I'm going to ask you to pay close attention to what I have to say right now, and we will go please to the slide number 12 when where we have the units of discourse analysis. So something important about analyzing the discourse is that it requires to be studied or observed and analyzed in the natural environment, yes, in its natural context. So it wouldn't be adequate to analyze, for example, a role play, the interaction of a role play in the airport or the hotel or the restaurant, those ones that we find in a traditional English textbook, for example, right? Because those are artificial, those are not natural. Even though those are situations that may happen in real life, well, the way they are presented in the book and the environment and all these different things doesn't allow us to analyze the discourse in an adequate way, right? So where can we check or analyze these different discourses, right? So you see over there are a lot of different examples. If we're talking about written discourse, so it could be an editorial in a newspaper of a certain orientation, right? So if it's an official newspaper, or if it's a newspaper with a tendency or trend of left, yes, or anarchist, we can analyze genuine discourse in a clinical report, in a hospital, or for example, a written explanation in a textbook, right? Or for example, we can analyze oral discourse in, for example, if we take a look at an explanation of a classroom, what I am doing right now actually can also be analyzed as a discourse somehow, but it would be, of course, better to do it in a regular classrooms where we can analyze the reactions of the people, their level of participation, their question, well, different things related to that, right? An interrogatory in a judgment, right? So how does the attorney present his or her arguments? The lawyer, the defendant, the judge, the interactions between the jury, all that can be analyzed, or well, different things. Okay. So it's important that it is genuine and not artificial. Now, actually, we have only, or at least we're going to study only 2 units of discourse analysis, and they are pretty simple, right? We don't have a lot of components, like 3 or 4 or 5, no. But maybe the first one, the one that I'm going to mention right now, is the one that normally presents some confusion. Yeah, the second one tends to be a little bit easier to get. So the first one is the enunciate or the statement, as you will find in the slide number 13. Yeah. So let me read the concept that is in there, and we will discuss it. It is the basic unit, right? So this is the minimum, let's say, unit of discourse that can be analyzed. Yes, there is nothing smaller than this in terms of discourse, at least in the way that we are going to approach it in discourse. Maybe there are some other trends and some other schools of thought, but we're going to assume that this is the smaller unit, right? It says the concrete and tangible product of the enunciation process between an enunciator and an enunciatee, right? Again, a little tricky like the Foucault definition, but let's go through it, right? So it's the concrete and tangible product of the enunciation. So a message requires to have been sent and effectively received between an enunciator, a person that enunciates something, that tells something, that sends a message, either in written or in other way, and an enunciatee, yeah, the person who receives such message, right? That's it. That's the enunciate, that's the statement. Now, this can or cannot have the form of a sentence. Now, an enunciate, an enunciate can be, that is a bicycle. Is that possible? Think about it. Thought a moment. Well, the answer is, it depends. Is there a message? Is there an enunciate? Sure. Yes. The message is that I am referring to that actually there's a bike over there. I am saying that, right? And there is an enunciator. Who's the enunciator? It's me, right? Now, in this particular context, probably, hopefully, if somebody's watching this video, there is an enunciatee, right? So a person receiving the message. You who are watching the video right now, one person, two people, everybody, we don't know, difficult to mention, to determine. Well, is it tangible? I don't know. Maybe by the moment that I realize that I verify the views of the video on YouTube, I may have an idea of that, but I am not actually sure that you arrived to this specific part and that you watch the message. So it's tricky, right? Now, if I say the same thing, that is a bicycle, and then there's somebody in front of me. Yes, and I have a person in front of me. I have a friend. I have somebody who's visiting my house, whatever, and the person acknowledges that. Yes, either by saying oh yes, that is a bicycle, or or if she simply moves her head or nods or something like that. Well, there is a tangible product over there. Yes, I transmitted a message, simple as that one, as that is a bicycle, and the person acknowledged and received it and let me know that that he or she received the message, right? Now, that message is, or that enunciate is composed as a full sentence. Yes, that is a bicycle. We have an indication that in this case could be, a demonstrative that plays the role of a noun, for example, that. It has a verb that is, and it has a complement, but in this case it's really short, that is a bicycle, right? So any conversation or any sentence said from one person to another, and if it receives some sort of feedback, even if it doesn't receive a reply in the way of a response of a sentence or something similar, that can be considered an enunciate, right? Now, I would say that is the simplest way to do enunciates. Nevertheless, there are enunciates that do not have the form of a sentence. So if you go to the next slide, yes, we have another example. So consider this. Do you want to have dinner with me? And then there's a second person who answered, yes, but later. Okay? So if you see yes, but later, that is not a sentence. Okay? There is no subject, or at least it is tacit. There is no verb. Yes? And actually there's no complement, right? Nevertheless, it is still a minimum unit of communication. Yes? Like you receive a question that somehow it is correct. Yes, it has all the components of a formal sentence. There's an auxiliary do, and then the noun you, and there's the verb want, to have. And then we have a complement that is pretty much complete. So, do you want to have dinner with me? And then the answer is yes, but later. It doesn't have an official or a complete sentence. Nevertheless, there is an enunciator, that is the person who asks. There is a message that is, well, does he or she want to go to dinner with such person? And there is the proof or the evidence that the message was received. The yes, but later. Okay? So in this case, we don't have a full sentence, but then we have the enunciate, right? We have an enunciate in there. There's a note over there that is important. It says comprehension is not possible without a context and the previous enunciate. Yes. So if I say yes, but later, right now, without any context, without any previous question or something like that, well, that is not an enunciate. Yes, because I said yes by later, but I am not really saying any sort of message, any sort of enunciate. There is an enunciator, that is me saying yes, but later, but there's nobody like actually receiving the message and providing the feedback for it. Okay, so take that into account. So those are the enunciates. You will say, well, that seems a little bit silly. It's sort of what we do every day. So yes, you're right. Let's say we are full of enunciates all the time. And these enunciates, when we put them together, they become texts. That is the next unit of discourse analysis. That we will discuss about that a little bit later. I am really interested into doing some practice about this enunciate thing, so we are able to exercise ourselves in the possibility of writing enunciates and recognizing enunciates and creating enunciates in other way and different things. Okay, so this is going to be our next assignment number 2. Okay, and we are going to do it with only the explanation that I just gave you. Okay, I'm not going to explain this anymore for now. Yes, I want to see if you were able to grasp the explanation. If you require to maybe rewind the thing and watch it again or something like that, well, that's just fine. And we're going to create 3 enunciates with 3 different levels of difficulty. Okay, those will be these ones. The first one is create 3 enunciates using sentences. Yes, that will be the first. That should be really easy. You just simply write a conversation between 2 people with full sentences, one that says something to the other person and the other person somehow acknowledges or replies in some way. Okay, and that will be the first. Yes, so hopefully that's something easy. Then the second one has a bigger level of difficulty. Yes, it says create another enunciate using a sentence. So you have the possibility of using a full sentence, noun, verb, and complement, and then a reply. Yes, you can imagine the reply or the answer of another person with maximum 3 words. 3 words. Okay, so the other person cannot say a complete sentence, but he or she can reply with 3 words. And finally, the most difficult one, we're going to create an enunciate using only 6 words. Okay, you can use only 6 words, and there are no full sentences allowed. Yes? Take into account that I mentioned over here that it's only words. So you decide if you want to do exchange or something similar. I don't know, a question reply, or just affirmation reply, or organize it somehow. Well, something like that. So that is going to be the assignment number 2. Okay. I know it's difficult. I'm aware of it. Some of you might be saying right now, what the hell do I have to do? I don't really understand. But just try to check that out, to verify it, and try to reply the assignment as best as you can. Okay, I'm not going to give any further instruction. I'm really interested in seeing like what is the concept that you have, and then we will analyze the replies. Yes, as I mentioned before, I am going to revise one by one, send you some of the comments, and then if necessary, if we had maybe a lot of mistakes or just some repetitive ones, I will create an additional video about that specific assignment, and we will clarify it. Now, if in the process of the assignment you require further assistance, just let me know. I am just interested in you doing this from the very beginning with the instruments and understanding that you have, and if we require like polishing this a little bit in the future, that would be fine. But I want you to do that like right now. So good luck with the assignment, and well, see you in the next video when we're going to talk about the text. Remember, today we talk about in this particular video we talk about the enunciate. So we're going to talk about the second unit of discourse analysis, that is the text. Thank you, Hugs.